Oldboy is a South Korean action thriller film directed by Park Chang-wook. The film follows the story of Oh Dae-soo on his quest for vengeance after he is released from being imprisoned for 15 years by a mysterious captor. He finds himself entangled in violence and conspiracy as he fights to discover the identity of his captor and what his motives are. The film is most famous for its distinctive visuals, unique story, and exceptional fight scenes. The film won the Grand Prix at the 2004 Cannes Film Festival and is genuinely regarded as a cult classic. The film was remade in 2013, directed by Spike Lee, and was predictably met with significant disappointment. The plot and structure remain much the same, but Lee stated that the film is a reimagination, not a shot-for-shot remake. With an opening weekend of $885,000, it was one of the weakest Thanksgiving opening weekends of all time. Not to mention the $30 million budget and only grossing $5.2 million, deeming it a box office bomb. The starkest change for me is the portrayal of the protagonists. In the original, Dae-soo, played by Choi Min-sik, comes across a very complex, layered character in an extreme situation, and Min-sik does not struggle to navigate himself through the plethora of emotions Dae-soo endures. No doubt a contributing factor to the original's success. Whereas in Lee's remake, Joe Doucette, played by Josh Brolin, endures the exact same suffering as in the original, yet Brolin's depiction appears starved of any raw emotion. Perhaps his choice was to appeal to an American audience, and tie in with the emotionless, badass hero audiences are so used to, but it withdraws from the story a crucial feature. Our villain also suffers a strange reincarnation. Charlotte Copley's Bond-type villain is a far cry from the slick and suave, cunning Lee Woo-jin, who is vital in alluding to the story's influence, the Greek tragedy Oedipus the King. There are certain moments in the original that fans had expected to see in the remake, such as the infamous octopus scene in which Dae-soo goes to a sushi bar, then orders and eats a live octopus. This scene only found itself into the remake as a mere cameo. There's also the famous hammer hallway scene, which was shot in one take, where Dae-soo takes on a couple dozen thugs, in one of the rare cases in action films where, as the fight goes on, our main character visibly becomes injured, weaker and tired. There are also wonderful cinematic techniques used in regards to how violence is depicted in the original, such as showing a gruesome event before and after it happens as opposed to throughout. Contrastingly, Lee's remake is an example of the expectations of the American audience. In the hammer hallway scene, Joe Doucette beats through countless thugs with the ease we are all too familiar with in American action films, barely taking any damage or slowing down. This again alludes to the invincible, emotionless, badass hero Americans are so desperately hungry for on their screens. Lee's depiction of violence is significantly less subtle to appeal to Americans' insatiable appetite for violence and gore. Spike Lee's remake was a predictably bad attempt that paid homage to the original but paid no respect to the story, the characters, and the cinematic techniques that made the original so special.